Many people online and on YouTube will tell you that launching during Q4 is an absolutely amazing idea and you should do it without thinking twice. Now, I'm going to try to make the case in this video why I think that's complete bullshit, so stick around. Hey, how's it going guys? Neve here and welcome back to another video. And in the past few weeks, I've had people messaging me and asking me what they think about or what I think about launching in Q4 and that they're planning on doing it. And my reaction is always the same. So let's break it down. Should you or should you not launch in the Q4 period? Obviously, as many of you guys know, Q4 is an amazing time for most e-commerce companies and e-commerce sellers. Increased traffic, increased sales, increased profits, all good things to hear when running an e-commerce business or just any business in general. So if you are launching and you're an experienced seller, someone who's had, different products in the past that are doing well, and you know exactly what you're doing, you know the steps to take, and you've done this before, then yes, absolutely Q4 could be an amazing time to launch your products. And one time of somewhat lower risk, just because of if you know what you're doing, you can get a lot of sales even if your product doesn't have a lot of reviews, or if things don't go exactly as planned, there's a lot more sales to be had during Q4. But if you're a new seller, there's a lot of things to consider, and one of those things is if your product even will make it here during Q4 or while Q4 is still happening. Because as of recording this video, it's about the end of October now, and I've had people even just last week tell me that they're planning to get their products into, during Q4, and ask them, have you even started manufacturing? And the answer is no. And so I'm saying this because one, obviously, as many of you guys know, there's a ton of shipping delays in the ports due to just a backlog of, shipments. There's not enough shipping containers, all that kind of stuff. It can take weeks to get your product off the ports. And that's not even including the shipping time itself. So that's one thing. Another thing to consider as well is China right now is having a huge electricity crisis. They don't have enough electricity and they're shutting down factories. So factories that had, that were working 7 days a week are now working like 2 days a week. In a lot of the cases. And so if you guys want to know more about, that whole situation, how I'm mitigating those kind of problems, I'll put a link up here or up here. I don't know where it is. I've been doing this for so long. There'll be kind of like a thing that comes out. You can click it and watch about the, Chinese electricity crisis if you don't know about it already. But that is increasing shipping times. My shipping times went from like 30 days for a lot of my products to now 45 days plus. So now the whole process that could have taken you maybe, 30 days manufacturing, 30 days shipping, will take you, 45 days manufacturing and 45 days shipping, if not more than that. So you can easily get, 100 days of whole process time. And a lot of the times, if that happens, you definitely will not make it in during Q4. So if you're planning on the Q4 sales, the Q4 spike, and you're trying to rush things, cut some corners, that will be disastrous for you because not only will you miss the Q4 season, but you also will be cutting corners like a lot of people do when they try to rush things. So definitely do the math, talk to your supplier and see if you're even going to be able to make it in there. Another thing to note is that there's a cutoff for, Christmas inventory, which is December 2nd this year. So in the previous years, it hasn't been a hard and fast cutoff rule, but usually if you want to be safe, you get your inventory in before December 2nd, because after that, they can't promise that it will be in stock until January. So that's another thing to consider. If you can't get it in before December 2nd, you're probably not going to make it in for Q4 and you'll be starting in Q1 of next year. So do not cut corners. If you have things you need to do, make sure you do it right the first time instead of trying to rush because you think you're going to make so many more sales during Q4. You're going to make a lot of mistakes and you're going to be stuck selling in Q1 anyways, which is going to be obviously a recipe for disaster. Now, there are some caveats to the rule aside from just the expert sellers or the people who have some success. It's to really understand your market and your product. Is your product a seasonal product or not, right? If it is a seasonal product and you can make it in before December 2nd, it may be worth for you to do this. Because if your sales for your product are, spike during Q4, let's say 10 times more, stuff like that than the rest of the year, then it still might be worth it for you to get it in there, or, get it into Amazon, because you still might make some sales and catch some of that traction there. But if your product is more of a normal product where, it does see an increase maybe 2-3 times, but, it's not really a seasonal product, then it's probably not a good idea for you to rush that product into Q4. Even though most people will say, rush it through, get it in there because, the rising tide lifts all the boats, right? Like the more sales there's going to be there, the more sales you're going to have, right? But the truth is you're going to be launching with no reviews. Whereas obviously we know Amazon is a social proof platform. You need to have reviews to be making sales. So not only that, even if you have a lower price, but no reviews, people are going to pick the person who has reviews. So that's one issue, right? You won't have enough time to get reviews. So that's, probably you'll start making sales in Q1 anyways once you have those reviews. 2, you have no sales history and no PPC data, which means that you have no idea about the market, the niche, which product, or rather which keywords will do well for your product or not. So while, Q4 happens, at the same time, cost per clicks on PPC double, if not triple in some markets, if not more than that. And so you will have to be testing your PPC, testing your launch strategy with higher cost per clicks, which means that you're gonna be spending a ton more money and in turn losing a ton more money on figuring out which keywords are good for you or not, while your competitors already know what keywords they sell well on, already know what keywords are profitable for them, and will continue to double down and triple down on those keywords while you're still trying to catch up and figure out what the heck's going on and which keywords you're going to be selling well for. On top of all that, once the Q4 season is over and the cost per clicks drop back down, your data that you gathered there is going to be completely irrelevant because cost per clicks were way higher, and you'll have to retest all the keywords at a lower bid to see if they're going to be profitable or not. So not having PPC data is a big problem, especially if you're launching towards the end of Q4, right? Like if you're launching in end of November, December, you're going to have big problems. So to finally answer the question, should you or should you not launch your product? The answer is no. Now, if you already have a product coming in, watching this video, like shit, like my product's coming in, like what do I do? Just launch it, right? Don't worry about that. Do your thing if you already have it up and going. But if you're trying to plan and cram it in and try to get in before Q4, you're making a big mistake. At this point, there just simply isn't enough time to be starting from scratch and trying to cram it in, squeeze it in before the season is over. Just be patient, work hard, try to make the best product that you can. And what they say in stocks can be applicable here too, which is it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. So take with that and do with that what you will. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got something from this. If you disagree with me, leave a comment down below, let me know why. I'll reply, always down to hear other people's opinions, but these are my opinions. This is what I would recommend you do. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.